Welcome to Moments with Brittany Victoria. Hey, I am back. Today is officially day 4 of my meds for egg freezing. I haven't done my injections yet for the night. I wanted to hop on and do a quick recording before I got all that done. So the injections, they're not bad. I can say that I was definitely intimidated by them at first, but it's not bad. When I went last week for my baseline, I did make sure that I stopped and talked to a nurse. That is one of the things that I am learning to do, is advocating for myself. And when I don't feel comfortable, is saying, hey, I need somebody to walk me through this. I know you guys are going to call me later and provide me videos, but I want to talk to somebody. So they got a nurse to kind of do a quick demo. One of the things that I think really helped ease my mind was she pointed out the needles are the needles that they use on the premature babies in the NICU. So I was like, okay, so, it can't be that bad. So I will say, when I received my shipment of meds, it was intimidating because they do have the syringes with these long needles on them, but you are instructed not to use them. So toss them. You do not need those. There's some shorter ones that come with it. Excuse me if I sound congested. These allergies are killing me. Kind of one of those, side effects right before you get a cycle, your immune system is down. So I was definitely down over the weekend before starting the injections. Now, I won't go much into how I am doing as far as the injections, because everybody's journey is different. You may or may not know from the Arizona podcast, or maybe even some of the videos I've done before about my cycle. I've always had a very interesting cycle since the age of, I would say, high school. I remember my basketball coach wouldn't let me play one day because I got sick. And I was like, I'm good now. Like, once I get it out my system once, I'm good. I'm good to go. And then by the time senior year rolled around, it was very consistent. My dad would pick me up from a psychology class, 12 o'clock on the dot, with yellow Powerade and pretzels. That was about all I could keep down. So, like I said, my cycle has always been interesting, and it's pretty much showing up as such during this process, which they say is normal, of having some PMS symptoms after taking the birth control and starting the injections. So I'll see, kind of where things are going tomorrow. I think one of the things that, going into this, there's no guarantee. The doctors and nurses are very hesitant on, telling you to change your diet or do these different things for better results, because they can't guarantee that. So they can't be held liable for giving you any recommendations on things to do. Oh, there is no guarantee on the results of doing these cycles. You just kind of have to hope and pray and wish for the best results. So it's best to be under no stress, try to remain calm in peaceful situations during this time, because there is a possibility that you may not get the results you want, or it's possible that they may have to cancel your cycle for, whatever reason. So it's very important to make sure that while you're being hopeful, still don't have too many expectations, if that makes sense. So that's kind of where I am. No major expectations. I'm still very hopeful and prayerful that things will work out and I'll be able to retrieve a significant amount of eggs within, I think I want to do at least 2 cycles. I paid for only 1 cycle this first go around, mainly because I was eligible for a discount because of my income from the previous year. Thank God for my gap year and only working half a year. So it definitely helped me become eligible for a 15%. So that was kind of one of the things that I did want to discuss is the financial aspect of egg freezing. It's pricey. It's very, very pricey, especially if you're having to pay out of pocket. A lot of insurance companies do not pay for fertility treatments, but there are a lot of companies that are offering fertility packages for their employers and their families. If you follow me on social media, I mentioned this book here, Black Girls Must Die Exhausted. It was perfect timing and kind of full circle as the main character explores having to do egg freezing. And her then boyfriend at the time talks about how the white girls in business school make sure that their potential employers offer these packages. And that definitely struck a nerve, not nerve, but a thought of, this isn't something that we always think about as Black women. There's not a lot of people that I've seen. I definitely tried doing my research when considering doing egg freezing. So I really couldn't find a lot of people of color who talked about their egg freezing cycle. And that's why I'm doing this. So hopefully it's helpful to somebody. It's important that we start advocating for our health. And that is another way of advocating for yourself, not only speaking up to doctors and nurses about, your pain tolerance and things that are going on or things that you need them to repeat or, recommendations, but also with your employers, making sure that they have packages to support you and your future self, your future family. So reading this book definitely has been an eye opener of something to look into, making sure that if and when I decide to start looking for another employer is to make sure that they do have packages to support my fertility journey because freezing the eggs is just, kind of the tip of the iceberg. There's a whole second side of this once I decide I need to defrost these eggs. Defrosting and turning them into embryos, however, that happens. Hopefully, husband comes along pretty soon to help with that portion of it. But then, the implantation of the embryos is going to cost as well. So yeah, that's definitely, I think, the biggest takeaway that I wanted to talk about on this video is to make sure that you are advocating for your health through your employers, and trying to get what it is that you want and need for your future self. Yeah, and that's it. So good luck wherever you are in this journey, whether you're thinking about doing this, whether you're waiting for your consultation. I know these waits are a long time. I think I mentioned I had to wait at least 3 months before I had my consultation. I just talked to a friend recently. Her appointment's not until June. I think she said June. Definitely summer-ish time. So wherever you are in your journey, in your research, start looking for these things. There are grants available depending on your circumstances. There is financing available. I will try to provide some of the information that I found useful for you to hopefully that'll make it easier. And until next time, peace.